right, so welcome to the first part of our ritual dimension. And for this first segment, we're going to do something a little bit different, which is that we're going to talk a little bit about meditation and we're going to do a practice 5-minute meditation together. So I have it included here on the ritual slide because really for most Buddhists, the daily ritual or daily practice that is encouraged is meditation. And there's lots of different kinds of meditation, and many of you may have already practiced meditation before. But just to give us a little sense of what it is, and for you guys to start thinking about how it fits into the Buddhist path, we're going to do a meditation together so that everyone goes through that experience. And then this week for your discussion, you're going to write a little bit about it. What was that experience like? And how do you see it, again, fitting into the Buddhist path? So for the type of meditation that we're going to do a breath meditation. And really the goal of this meditation is to just focus on your breath and to stop thinking. And that may sound easy, right? Okay, just stop thinking. But it's actually a lot harder than it may seem, right? In Buddhism, the idea is that we think we're in control of our minds, we think we're in control of our thoughts, but we actually aren't. A common metaphor is, or a comparison is that our mind is like a runaway pack of horses. It just goes without us even thinking about it or controlling it, and our thoughts end up controlling our lives. And it's our thoughts that lead us to automatically cling to things and to form attachments. So through meditation, the goal is that I can start to have control over my mind, over my thoughts and my thought patterns, so that I can see myself starting to have those attachments. I can notice when different emotions are coming within me, and I can say, no, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to become attached to this thing. I'm not going to cling to this thing. I'm not going to be sad or to suffer, because I know that this is the transitory nature of life, right? I know that this is what impermanence is all about. So we try to create spaces between our thoughts. And the idea is that you just focus instead on your breath. So first of all, wherever you are, take a deep breath in and out. So that breath, breathing in and out through your nose, is what you're going to focus on. You're just going to feel the sensation of breathing in and breathing out. So you're not going to think about your breath. You're just going to experience it. You're just going to feel it. And you want to empty your mind of thoughts. You don't want to actually think about anything. Again, that sounds easier than it actually is. And as we go through this, thoughts will arise. So you will think about things. You'll think about the fact that you're meditating, right? You'll think about, if you're hungry, what you're going to do after this video. The goal in meditation is that as those thoughts arise, you have a choice. You can either choose to follow those thoughts, or you can notice them and simply let them pass on. So another way I've heard it described in meditation is that, imagine yourself sitting on the bank of a river, and your thoughts are like, rafts or logs coming down the river, right? They arise, they just appear, and we just watch them go past, right? We don't want to follow them. We don't want to follow those thoughts. We just want to notice that thought and then let it move on. So for example, if a thought arises that, I have to remember that I have to, grade these quizzes for a class tomorrow. I can either notice that, okay, yeah, that's right, I have to do that. Or I can follow that thought. Okay, I have to grade those quizzes for tomorrow, so I could probably do it tonight, maybe after, my husband and my son get home. And then, after I make dinner, I could probably do it then. Or, it might just be better to do it tomorrow morning on the train when I'm going to work, right? So I can follow that thought and let it lead me into anxiety and agitation and being upset or being worried. Or I can just, okay, that's a thought that happened. Yep, that's something that I have to do. Now I'm just going to let that thought go and come back to my breath. So the way that we let those thoughts go is just to redirect your focus and your attention back to your breath. So that's what we're going to do for 5 minutes. 5 whole minutes. We're only going to do it for 5 minutes, but know that Buddhist monks and nuns, they meditate for hours on end. So this is just a small taste of what that's like. So in terms of position, what I want you to do is I want you to sit. I'm sitting on the ground, but it's really best to sit like in a chair, especially if you're just starting. You might not be comfortable enough sitting on the ground for long periods of time, but you do want to sit up straight. So you want to sit up straight right now. Not so straight that it's uncomfortable, but just sort of, a comfortable straight position. You want to put your feet on the floor. Don't cross your legs. If your legs are crossed, put both your feet flat on the floor, and you can just rest your hands, on your legs. The idea is that you want to get into a position that's comfortable enough that you could sit for 5 minutes without really needing to, adjust too much, and it's not so comfortable that you could fall asleep, right? Because they definitely recommend or don't recommend meditating while you're lying down unless you're really advanced in it, because you could become so relaxed that you fall asleep, and that's definitely a temptation. So we're gonna sit. We're going to sit in our position, we're going to get ready, and I'm going to time us for 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do in this video, and then in the next video we'll continue talking about the different rituals. So you can, I'm going to get my timer ready here. You can close your eyes if you want to. Most people choose to close their eyes. For some people that might be distracting to have their eyes closed. So for some people, they might just like look down at a point on the floor in front of them, like kind of at an angle, so that you're not visually distracted, but you can also close your eyes. And basically, we're going to sit for 5 minutes and we're going to breathe. We're going to breathe for 5 minutes, and we're going to, again, try to create those spaces between our thoughts. Just focus on your breath. When your mind starts to wander, come back to your breath. Okay, ready? And here we go. Okay, so that is 5 minutes. That was our 5 minute meditation. And hopefully it was quiet enough. I just realized as we were going through that you might be able to hear the background noises in my house, which is that a plane flew overhead, and you might be able to hear we live in a pretty busy neighborhood, so there's people on the street. Anyways, if you want to do that again on your own, you can, obviously you can do this anywhere in your house, wherever is most, sort of peaceful and quiet for you. Just set up your timer for 5 minutes. I just use my iPhone timer. And just sit and breathe for 5 minutes. You can do this however many times you want to, of course. And this week for your discussion, I'm going to have you write about this experience. So for some of you, doing a meditation, doing that may have been very relaxing, and the 5 minutes went by very quickly. For others, that may have been the longest 5 minutes of your life. So I'm really interested. I'll be very interested to hear what your reactions are to that. So we're going to end this video here because this one's just for the meditation, because I just wanted you guys to go through that practice with me. And then we're gonna do another video that's going to go through the content of this slide. Okay.